Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Chris with My Service Area and Happy Cans. On the video here with me today is Dan from Ben Heroes. Dan, how are you, sir?
What's up? I'm good. How are you?
Doing well. So this is a video. Hopefully, you'll find some helpful information or hopefully you'll get some helpful information out of this video. So we're going to talk to Dan about his business, and he's a true entrepreneur. He has quite a few businesses going, but we're going to keep this short and sweet to you, but hopefully you get some value out of it. So Dan, I guess first off, give us some background. Where are you located? What's the name of your business? Start us off there.
Sure. So I'm in Cincinnati, Ohio, and my business is Ben Heroes. I started the business, this will be my third season coming up. So we shut down for 3 months. So December through March. Well, we start in March. So December, January, February, we shut down. So this will be my third season running the Ben Heroes.
Gotcha. So how in the world did you find the bin cleaning business?
It's funny. I worked for corporate America. I worked for Charter, Spectrum, Time Warner Cable, whatever you're familiar with. I worked for them for 16 years, traveled a lot, moved a couple of times. Got to a point where when Charter bought Time Warner Cable, things kind of went sideways. I feel like the company did. And I was still with them for 4 or 5 years after that, but they wanted to move our site to Texas. We had just got done moving back to Ohio. We have 6 kids, 7th one on the way. So being home with family, being home with the family was kind of our necessity. And we had just got back to Ohio, and then a year later they want to move us to Texas. So we had some time to think about it. They had to build the site first. So they gave us some time to basically say, hey, you either move or you can become a call center rep, basically. And I was a manager. I led a bunch of people. I'm like, I'm not going to a call center. This is crazy. And most of the Cincinnati division had dissolved, so there wasn't a whole lot of opportunity. So basically I took the hey, we're going to pay you to leave kind of deal. Here's some severance, that kind of thing. So I took that. I Googled what in the world I'm going to do. And I said, I'm going to do something on my own. And trash bin cleaning came up. Looked that up. Basically, I was like, this is the dumbest idea ever. Why would anybody ever want to do something like this? Everybody, all my people that were under me, I was telling them I was going to do this. They said I was crazy. And I said, you know what? That's enough to prove them wrong. So I'm doing it. So I kind of jumped in.
Yeah.
So that's how it all started.
Let the naysayers push you, right?
That's what happened. Yep.
Right. So your business has been Heroes. And now, do you have a trailer or a truck?
I've got a trailer. I've got a SB1. So I'm kind of the small guy right now.
Gotcha. But it's been a good, would you say, entry level unit for
Oh
you?
yeah. I mean, it's done a good job. I think I'm at my issue with my SB1 is I feel like I'm limited to my capacity of water. So there's times where I'm dumping and filling twice a day. So I'm at a point where I want to have a bigger rig, but my pocket isn't at a point where it wants a bigger rig.
Sure.
So that's kind of the bottleneck that I'm at right now. So I'm going to try to muscle around this year with maybe one more time with this SB1 and then kind of make a decision on what I want to do next. So
I got you. Now, I know a lot
go
of
big or
people,
go home is what I should have done.
Hey, if you got the pockets, the working capital, I guess you
well,
can
that
use
was the other that was one of the deciding factors is why I went with the SB1, because I paid for that cash, so I didn't have that debt burden on me. And I feel like that puts a lot of stress on some of the bin cleaners when they do have that $2,000 a month payment. Like, I got to clean 200 cans or whatever to just make that piece, just to make that payment. So being able to buy a unit cash did free me up a little bit from stress, I guess. So
well, you
anyway.
make a good point about starting off in the struggles there. So you didn't have that loan payment starting off, but what would you say, when you began this journey or this business, what was your big obstacle? I mean, how were you finding customers? Because I know that's asked a lot. So what was your process? What worked? What didn't work?
Man, so like I think in any business that you run, whether you're running trash bin cleaning or you're selling Mary Kay or something like that, I think, you always go with your friends and family first. You go with your internal networks. I did that first. And you try to get them to push for, in their, like, hey, tell your friends and that kind of stuff. So I ramped up pretty quick. I think in the beginning, it was easy for me to get the first 50 customers. I might have even been easy to get the first 100 customers just because of my internal network of people that I know and that groups that I belong to. But for me, it was after that, it was okay. Now we got to figure out, ads. Let's get Facebook. There's a presence already in Cincinnati too. So there was at that time when I first started, there was 4 different trash bin cleaning companies all around me, and one of them lived 3 miles down from me. So there was already competition out there. So I knew I had to kind of get into that space. So I just ran Facebook ads, that kind of stuff. I think the Facebook ads did well, but ultimately, I think what worked the best was just the word of mouth.
Right.
And you leverage the tools that you have. So like Jobber, being able to send text messages after you close a job. I really pushed for, hey, post in your neighborhood group. Hey, give us a review, that kind of thing. And I think that also helped.
Gotcha. Now, you just
So,
mentioned Jobber. We use Jobber as well with Happy Cans. What other systems are you currently using to run your business?
so I use Jobber for routing only, and for the text messaging, I guess. That's all I use it for, the routing and scheduling. I'm not integrated into Jobber. I take so my customers go to my website, and I use WordPress for the website. And then I use a plugin called Paid Membership Pro. Paid Membership Pro basically, handles all the billing and captures the payment and all of that stuff, the payment through Stripe. And then I just take that information that I get either in the email, or I just download my contacts for the day or whatever, and I manually put them into Jobber. Everybody's like, oh, that's terrible, all that manual entry. I don't have a crap ton of customers, so it's not a big deal.
Right.
But really, it takes, to put a customer into Jobber, it takes me maybe a minute if I'm going slow. It really doesn't take very long to do that. It hasn't been a real issue. So,
Gotcha. Have you been happy with the Membership Pro?
oh
Or
yeah,
is it
yeah, I
is
have
it
no
is it
pay,
is it
Paid
paid?
Membership Pro. Yeah, yeah, I think there's a free version. I pay for I don't know, the premium version or whatever, just because I do. I don't know why I do. I'm not even sure what features I get. But I have had no issues with it. I know a couple other guys out in this space use it, and that's kind of, before I started, I talked to a bunch of people, and some people use this. So I was like, oh, I'm going to use that. Sounds easy. So,
Now, we talked about getting started at basically at a high level, but going into your third year and kind of looking back, what has been your biggest challenge in this business?
I think it's growth. Like, part of, like, I may be a unique case because I didn't have, the loans over my head, and I had a nice little cushion from leaving a company where I didn't push as hard as I should have. So like, I don't have that, like, hey, you need to put food on the table right now. And so like, I didn't have that stress. I'll probably be stressful here coming soon because, money's burning because of some other things that I've started. So there will be a little bit more pressure on me this year, but I think it's just growth. And part of my holdup with growth is that I'm, again, limited with my SB1 now, where I'm making 1 or 2 stops a day just to fill and dump. And so like, I've been hesitant to grow because I'm scared that I won't be able to handle those customers if I do get them. Or
Right.
I'm going to be doing it all day long. Like, I'm going to be cleaning trash cans from 9 a.m. to 8 p.m., to get it done. So, and I really want to hire somebody, but that makes me nervous too. So I would say growth has probably been the biggest struggle. On day one, I didn't know how to turn on my machine. So you could say that was coming from a corporate world and then going into a big old pressure washing rig.
Yeah,
I had to call it. I had to call
manicured
assistant.
hands to get dirt under your fingernails, right?
Yeah, I had to call. Actually, it's a funny story. When I first started, I called Danny up at Cincy Bins, and I'm like, "Dude, I got my rig." He's like, "Cool," and I'm like, "It's not turning on. Like, is it broken?" He's like, "What do you mean?" I'm like, "I'm trying to start it, and it won't go." He's like, "You got water in it?" I'm like, no, why do I need water in it? He's like, it's a pump. Like, it's not going to turn on if you don't have water. So I filled it up and it turned on. But I was like, I clearly had no clue what I was getting into. So,
Well, speaking of growth in your competition, so how do you, how big is your service area? How are you managing that as well?
um, I mean, I could tell you because I have MSA, so I can tell you how big my service area is. I'd have to look. I don't know for sure, but it's pretty big, and it shouldn't be as big as it is. But it's big because I was hungry in the beginning and I wanted every customer. I was willing to drive X amount of distance to go get that one customer, in the hopes that that was going to drive more sales. Some it does, and some it doesn't. So now I'm at a point where like my, I go all the way from like, shoot, I probably drive 30 minutes down, 40 minutes down south, and then from where I'm at, and then I go probably 30, 40 minutes north. There's days where I have to hit both of those areas because I screwed up on my routing or something. And that's a drive. When you have to drive from one side to the other, that's pretty big. But I manage my data, I manage my boundaries, my customers with using MSA. So
Right.
sales plug.
Thanks. So, me running Happy Cans, just to kind of piggyback off that statement, I think that in the beginning, you're exactly right. It's so hard if you're starting in this business to say no because you're excited somebody wants to buy your services. And then you kind of look back, months down the road and go, why did I ever say yes to that person? Because now I'm spending way too much seat time for way too little dollars, and I'm probably losing money on that account. So I always think that that's something that people don't think about, but it's hard. The psyche gets in the way. We all seen those green dollars and say, let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's
Right.
get it. Let's get it.
So I have
But
583 square miles.
What?
Sorry to interrupt. 583 square miles. That's my service area.
Gotcha. Awesome. Yeah, I guess, part of the success in this business is, understanding your routes and keeping them tight as possible and try to grow within those areas. So,
yeah.
All right, let's switch gears a little bit. We only got a few minutes left. Tell me about your other businesses.
Okay, so I have Bin Heroes, obviously trash bin cleaning, and that's a seasonal thing for us right now in Ohio, just because I don't have a warehouse. I keep this thing in my driveway, so I don't have a big warehouse space to keep it warm. So we do shut down. So I needed something to do. Everybody out here in Ohio, Christmas lights is huge. Everybody pays to have somebody put Christmas lights up. Typically, those are landscape people that are off season as well. I like to be the guy that does the go big, go home kind of thing, except I didn't do that with the trash bin cleaning. But anyway, so I wanted to go with something different. So I went with a permanent light solution. So we sell permanent lights under the name Light Heroes. So I got Bin Heroes, Light Heroes. And it's permanent lighting. It's basically a track that we put underneath your soffit. It's LEDs that are color changeable, fully app controlled. So you can use them all year round. So they go up one time, they never come down. The customer can just use an app to change the colors of the lights. You can celebrate the Bengals, yeah, or you can put your Christmas lights up, or whatever. So they're pretty cool. And that was we launched that very slowly 2 years ago. Last year kicked my butt. I was busy every single day. I was doing at least one install a day. Some days I was doing two, which is pretty big. Price point's pretty high. So those are big ticket items. My wife, actually, she started her own little business called the Cookie Heroes. So she does cookies. And then this year we're starting another company called the Bounce House Heroes. So last year I ordered a bunch of commercial inflatables, and I'm going to try to figure out how to do that and bin cleaning this year at the same time with no help. So that's going to be
the good thing is with your multiple businesses, there's the potential to share contacts. You've got a built-in audience there that will certainly help jumpstart the.
That's exactly. So So for my lights, that's how I leveraged, you know, my contacts there. I got a lot of traction with bin customers for my lights. And then, you know, I expect that to happen as well. I've hinted to my bin customers through emails like, hey, this is a startup that's coming, you know, and people have already asked, well, tell me more, or do you have a website, or are you ready? You know, when can I rent one? That kind of stuff. But there's some hoops I got to jump through in Ohio for being able to rent them.
Well, just to give you some feedback on that. So we added pressure washing just to our current customer base last year, and we just put it in the messaging, and it says, you know, hey, friendly reminder, or we did it, sorry, an announcement, and we now do pressure washing, and that certainly helped to the bottom line last year, and we didn't have to spend one penny on marketing. You know,
yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, I tried doing so like, you know, with bin cleaning, you know, comes along, you know, some pressure washing, so surface cleaning on your concrete driveways, sidewalks, patios, that kind of stuff. So I kind of, you know, did a little bit of that. I even got into a little bit of house washing as well. But house washing is like soft washing is like a completely different setup, and if you don't have the right tools, it's not as enjoyable. I did some side soft washing with a friend, and he's got like everything that you would want, and it was just so easy. But then I tried doing it, you know, I'm carrying around a bucket of surfactant and stuff and siphoning it out. It just wasn't fun for me, so I just stopped marketing that altogether. I'm like, there's money there, but it was too much to deal with.
Yeah, it is. I mean, and it can be a few dollars investment as well. But
right.
Anyway, in closing, what's a piece of advice you would give? I mean, it doesn't have to be bin cleaning in general, but if you're getting ready to jump out on your own, or maybe you're already an entrepreneur and you're looking for, you know, another idea, what's a piece of advice that you would give after, you know, now you're getting ready to start your third business?
Man, I don't know. I feel like I'm a hot mess. So I would say, you know, the biggest things like I would say is, you know, stay hungry for whatever you're doing, right? And it sounds maybe cliche from, what is it, Steve Jobs, stay hungry, stay foolish, or something like that. But I mean, like, really, that's what it's all about. Like, if you got to be passionate about what you're doing, whether it's trash bin cleaning or lights hanging up or bounce houses or selling knives or whatever it is. You got to stay hungry. You got to live it. You got to be passionate about it, and you got to stay focused. Because as soon as you let that start die, your business is going to die. So you just have to want it and push. So that's what I would say.
Good stuff. Well, Dan, thanks a million for taking the time to speak with me today, and we'll see you out there.
Sounds good, man.
All right.
Talk to you later.
Thanks.
See ya.
Bye.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.